from the experiment, and I think we couldn't do the experiment on straight on humans because first of all we do not have enough humans, although we have a lot of humans. But when we do the experiments on human, the human need to volunteer, and on other different kinds of animals are much easier to do the experiments on because they have a large amount and they have short life. The second thing is that there are some animals we do experiments on have the similar genes to our genes. So the result may seems very kind of similar to the result on people. And the third thing is that when the animals we use to do the experiments is the animal we raise them. We raise them to use for the purpose, and so we can do that. And the experiments on animals is now still be an effective way to have the result. So I think the experiments on animal is a must when we have to advance. But if we can find another method, I think this method is now still a thing we have to do. Yeah, I think I make it short. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for the talk. And my question, because you and other speakers also mentioned about that we cannot do the experiment on the human body because we do not have enough people. But I think in the world now we have like 7 billion people, the population. But for other animals, I think it's very few in compared with the human. So I don't think the problem is not enough people to do experiment. Because like, what do you think about like for the COVID? Because if we have, maybe we can have the vaccine very quickly if we can try directly on the human body. But because we have to make step by step, follow by step, and we have to try on the animal or something like that. And now we still do not have a good like vaccine. So how do you think about that?
Thank you for your question. I think it's very interesting. So my point is that it's not that we do not have enough people, it's that we do not have enough volunteer people. It's like we can experiment on human, but when we do that, the human needs to be a volunteer, and not everyone will volunteer to do that. And like the last step on to cure every disease is to test on volunteers. Not the results on animal is one thing, but the most important thing is the results on human, right? But when you do, we can do straight on human, but you may say that cruel. And when we do experiments on animals, as I was saying, we raise them for that purpose. So it's still cruel, but it will be less cruel. Like we raise animals to eat, and we cannot say and we still have many talk about that, and very many discussion about that topic too. And so I think that's my answer.
Okay, so it's really cruel when you do experiment on animals, right? So I have one suggestion: we replace animals by prisoner. How do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat? By what?
Now, you say that it's very cruel when you do experiment on animals.
Yes.
So I have one suggestion that you replace animal by prisoner. How do you
A
think?
prisoner. Okay. I think that prisoner are still human, right? But as I was saying, the prisoner is a human, and human can be. We can do experiments on human, but there are many experiments that there's like the other contestant says that we need to do the experiments on a short time. But so the prisoner is it depends on because many people say that prisoner are not the they doesn't have the nationality now, so they're still human, but they're still human being, but not human or something like that. I don't know how to translate it to English, but oh, I don't think it's an English contest. Yes, I think I just say that test on human is the last test and the last step. So we can choose the prisoner or the patient. They are volunteer to do the test too, and you can say that, oh, they are patient. You cannot do that. It's so cruel. They are going to die. We do that too. So I think it's something that we will have to discuss in a long time.
Okay, I would like to follow Dr. Ling's question, a very interesting question, and also connect the same question I asked him and Mai. Do you think maybe we could use prisoners to test cosmetics? For example, maybe Bang could test. We could test some makeup, perhaps, on Bang in prison. Do you think it's okay to use humans for cosmetics experiments? Is my question.
I heard your question. I think you're very like cosmetic or something like makeup because your question is all about makeup.
It's just I want to ask each. All three of you have been very good, so I want to get the same question so I can get a clear idea about your ability, okay?
The test about makeup is, I don't know, I didn't do the research about the makeup. Did we have to test the makeup on animals? I didn't know about that. So I think when we use someone prisoner, like Bang, or makeup, maybe he will happy to do that. I don't know. He will be happy to do that. Oh, I look so pretty today. You can say that he will like that. And if someone say, oh, we have new cosmetic today. Do you want to try? And he said, oh, I love it. Or he will not.
You think so? Your position is human trials are preferable if they are voluntary, if they are volunteers.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. Excellent. Good job and well done to everyone so far. Thank you.
Thank you.